guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend and had a great day today. I thought that we could do a little pop culture brain dump. So everybody, and I got two topics to talk about. And one is going to segue perfectly into the other one. You'll see why. So first of all, everybody grab their favorite beverage. I just have some water in my favorite, still one of my favorite glasses that I've gotten in the last year. Love it. So I just have some water. So grab a water, let me know what you're drinking. And just to jump in, we actually, it's been a nice, relaxing weekend. Did some coloring yesterday. And what else? I made a yummy pasta salad. Very good. And then today, Dolly and I, my mom and I, went out to my brother's house. He had us out for dinner, for a kind of like a celebratory dinner for my nephew, who is going to soon next month, is going to be a freshman at Grove City College in Northwest Pennsylvania. So he's going to be majoring in accounting. So he is going to be going. So I got him a rollaway laundry basket, like a hamper, and I filled it with, I thought I would be able to fill it, but it was so tall, I didn't fill it. It was kind of anticlimactic, but still, I got his favorite snacks. I got him some laundry supplies and some toiletry supplies. So we went out, we gave that to him, and it was nice. So now here I am. Let's talk about pop culture. Okay. I'm going to start off because yesterday, remember, I had said, let's do 20 questions about myself. And when I started talking about concerts. Okay. I saw this on TikTok. And I had seen a video a few weeks ago, and it was a woman who was from Romania. And she was talking about how Justin Timberlake was in concert in Romania I think it was called the Electric Castle, maybe. And he was rude. I guess he was in concert, but there was a rain delay. And I think it was delayed 45 minutes maybe. Well, then she said he was very rude. So I then saw a follow-up video on TikTok of this concert that she was talking about. It was raining, and he looked like he wanted no parts of this. He looked like he wanted absolutely no parts of being there and being on stage. He was dressed in he looked like he was dressed in clothes that he would just put on, that he would throw on to go to the corner store to grab a loaf of bread and a quart of milk. He didn't look like he was dressed for a concert. So it gave me, for me, it gave me karaoke vibes. Not he was singing like he was karaoke. He would say two words. He would sing two words of a song, and then he'd go like this to the audience. Who does that? See, I'm so mad my grammar's out. Who does that? Those people paid, that the tickets weren't cheap. Those people paid good money for you to get an attitude and then make them sing. And he was like, okay, do you know the words? Somebody in the comments was like, we do. Do you know the words, sir? Because he wasn't singing at all. And when he was singing, it was so off key. I sing off key, but I'm not a professional singer. It was bad. It was terrible. There was that concert, and then in Paris, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So listen, maybe either if you're not into it anymore, maybe just give up. Maybe retire from singing. Maybe just do movies. I don't know. It's not like he was even that great. He's even that great in movies, but maybe do movies. I don't know. Maybe do voice work. He did the Trolls movie. He did voice work in that. I don't know. But this isn't cut. That is not cutting it. If that was me and I paid that kind of money to see him do that and make me sing. So I would pay hundreds of dollars to stand in the rain and sing a Justin Timberlake song. At one point, he pulled up like the hoodie on his raincoat, the hood on his raincoat. Just a little pissed. No. And I get it. Listen, if that's the case and it's raining so bad, then why not just cancel the whole show? I mean, rather than get up there and be like that. And I understand you don't want to you want to be careful. You want to be cautious because you don't want to get hurt. However, whenever I saw that performance, the one performer that immediately hopped into my mind, immediately took over my entire brain space was Taylor Swift. There were multiple times on the Eras Tour, which ran for 53 years. It literally ran for 2 decades. And this was a 3-hour plus show, 3 hours and 15 minutes, 3.5 hours, with not a lot of breaks in there. And there were rain shows. There were shows that were delayed, but then there were shows that she just played. And she didn't put in any less than 100%. And she went out and she gave it her all. Another one that I had seen video of that went out and just gave his all in a rain show was Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. Jumping, singing, still giving all this energy. Maybe it's time for him to hang it up. And listen, this is coming from me. I was a Justin fan from the beginning. Justin was my favorite in NSYNC. So listen, I loved Justin Timberlake. I told you, my second favorite concert, the second best concert I've seen of all time, only to Prince, was Justin Timberlake. Such a performer, such an entertainer. Not even just a performer, but such an entertainer. The singing, the dancing, the stage presence, the charisma, the charm. And now this. As we all know, listen, he's fallen from grace for me for a couple reasons. Number one, being the drunk driving arrest. In my mind, he didn't seem to take it that seriously. It was no big deal. To me, drinking and driving is a huge deal. I personally think that drinking and that too many chances are given to too many second, third, fourth, fifth chances are given to people who are caught drunk driving. Because who's to say that next time, who's to say that, after once, they're told don't do it, and then they go and they drink and drive. Who's to say that next time they're not going to go out, get in an accident, kill themselves, and then unalive someone else because they were drinking and driving. So number one, that was terrible. Plus, if we're being completely honest, all that backlash from the halftime show with Janet Jackson, when, I'm sorry, but you couldn't see her nipple. You couldn't. She had that big pasty over it, so you couldn't see anything. But how is it that she was the one who got the most backlash. Like, she was the one who was in trouble of losing her career. Like, she was the one that really faced consequences, and he did not. And he didn't even apologize for anything. And then they have him back to play the Super Bowl again. I didn't like that. So I'm going to say, you know, I'm happy that I saw Justin Timberlake in concert when I saw him. I saw him right when he went solo and he put out his first solo album. I saw him then. And thank God I saw him early, because the Justin Timberlake of now has lost a little bit of the shine, a little bit of the shimmer, a little bit of the charm and the charisma. From what I've heard from multiple people who have met him, he's not the nicest person to meet. I mean, they could be wrong, but I've heard multiple people say that he wasn't the friendliest. So maybe he needs to either retire or maybe he needs to get NSYNC back. And because I know people are clamoring for NSYNC to get together. Boy bands are a huge business. I mean, Backstreet Boys have that residency at the Sphere that is I don't know if it's breaking records, but it's bringing in the crowds. And New Kids on the Block, they consistently sell out everything. Tours, cruises, everything they do. So maybe get the band back together. Maybe that might either do that or just retire, because this is not a good look. But then you see video of him performing in America, and he's going out and he's doing everything and he's putting on a show. But over in Europe, he's phoning it in. I mean, they pay money too. It's not like these shows are for free. They're paying. I think that's garbage. I think that's shitty. Speaking of shitty, let's talk about what I watched on Netflix this morning. I watched one of the installments in the series called Trainwreck on Netflix. I watched Poop Cruise. I told you it would tie in. It's a real shitty what JT is doing. I watched Poop Cruise, and I'm just gonna tell ya, I'm good on never going on a cruise again. Poop Cruise, if you didn't know, this was the ill-fated trip. It was a cruise, and it was aboard the Carnival Triumph. It was in 2013. It was a 4-day cruise. They were heading down to Mexico, and then they were coming on back. And so everything was good. They get down there. They go to Cozumel. Everything's good. Everything's great. And then, until it's not. Because on the 4th day, they wake up. There is an alert. You know, there was some kind of alert going off. And there are no lights. Okay. So people go up on the deck. They see, holy shit. Okay. So there's smoke coming out of the big like red fin. There's smoke coming out. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, the boat's on. All right, so the boat's on fire. So they go down, they look. One of the engines, in the engine room, one of the engines is on fire. But it's okay. Listen, we're going to put it out. Please, the British lady gets on the intercom. Everything will be fine. We have it under control. Please go and get your morning breakfast. Have some coffee, some toast. Do what you need to do. Everything's under control. But it's not. Because then also, I forgot to also say the air conditioning went out. So it's hot as shit But everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. Until they realize that this fire melted and destroyed all the cables. So they are literally just dead boat floating. Like, it's just, there's no navigation. There's no way to navigate anywhere. They're just floating in the ocean. There's no lights. There's no air conditioning. They cannot call anybody on their cell phones because their cellular, service, their Wi-Fi service, they don't have any. And they find out that the toilets are not working. So here's what they got to do. They're like, well, what are we going to do if they need to relieve themselves? They're thinking, well, a guy can just whip it out and pee over the side, but a woman can't sit up on the railing and pee. So what are we going to do? So they said, well, here's what we'll do. We'll have everybody that needs to do number one, just pee in the shower. So just pee in the shower, and it'll drain. I don't know where it's going to drain, but it'll just drain. What are we going to do if we need to go number two? Well, that's where the red biohazard bags come in. If you had to do number two, then you had to poop in the red bag, and you had to put it in the trash bin, and someone would come and pick it up. I don't know where they're gonna put them, but somebody will pick them up. So you have rooms, you have cabins devoid of any circulation of air, and the smell of piss in the shower. No parts of that is good. And the people that they were talking to, the one guy was like, there is no, because they talked to a man who was going on the cruise with his future wife and his future father-in-law. And so it was him, and then his future wife and his future father-in-law. And then there was these three women. One was a bride-to-be, and the other two were in the bridal party. The only thing that they worried about, especially the bride, was drinking. Like, she didn't seem to care about anything except drinking, right? So the guy was like, I refuse. I am not going to be pooping in a red bag. I'm just not doing it. So, 1 day, 2 days, it eventually gets up to I think they're at sea an extra 4 days. And at some point, there was supposed to be a dinghy, a couple dinghies to come and get them and push them down to, they were stuck in, I'm going to call it the Gulf of Mexico, because at the time it was the Gulf of Mexico, and I still refer to it as the Gulf of Mexico. Much like in Western Pennsylvania, Star Lake is always going to be Star Lake. Acrisure Stadium is always going to be Acrisure Stadium. It's Gulf of Mexico, then I'm still calling it Gulf of Mexico. Okay, tangent aside. They were drifting, and they were drifting, rather than drifting down towards Mexico, they were drifting further up. So the plan was to instead push them up to Mobile, Alabama. And when they did that, there was a little disturbance and the ship rocked a little bit. And that rocking caused some spillage. And what was the spillage? The spillage was sewage. So it was raining fecal matter, and and the carpets were soaked in urine. And by this time, like mostly everybody was out on the decks fighting for like deck chairs. There were little shanty towns popping up, and just like tempers were flaring. And for some reason, they thought, the one person that worked for the cruise line was like, well, cruises are supposed to be fun. So why don't we just have a free bar? And of course the bridal party was like, yeah, free bar. Everybody was like double fisting it and drinking. People were having just sex on launch, on like chairs right out in front of people. And people were there were fights. I don't understand why you would think that would be great. That would be a great idea, because number one, people act all kinds of ways. Some people, when they get drunk, they get quiet. Some people get laughy. For me, when I drink too much, I laugh a lot. I get real goofy. And then there's some people get real flirty. Some people get mean. I don't know why you would think that would be a good idea. Also, if you drink, what if that would mean you would have to pee more. What if you get so drunk that you get sick and you throw up? Where's that throw up going to go? Not to be gross, but where's that going to go? Where's that byproduct going to go? You got all these other byproducts. Oh my God. So yes, it was ridiculous. And also they were down food. Like they had to throw away the perishables. So they were coming up with anything. And when they put food out, people were like hoarding it. Like rather than thinking of your fellow passenger, these people were just like hoarding this food, while others were just like starving to get food. It was insane. So, and it didn't seem like, to me, honestly, the way that the PR department for Carnival handled this was terrible, because they put out at the very beginning, before everything else happened, they put out a PR release saying Carnival Cruise, Carnival Cruises Triumph boat is, there's a fire, but it's being taken care of, and that's it. So there was no other word. There wasn't any of this other information being put out. And then eventually another ship from Carnival had gotten close to them and had given them some food. Instead of like helping push them though, they just like kept dancing and eating and waving and laughing and but they were close enough that people on the Triumph could get reception, and they called their friends and families and told them what was going on. Like, we're stuck on this boat. There's no air. There's no food. The toilets don't work. It's rain and poop, and help. So they were actually really pissed. They were pissed. It seemed like Carnival was pissed that this got out. I couldn't believe it. I could not. That right there. So listen, eventually they did end up making it to Mobile, Alabama. And that's that. They were talking to a lawyer, and a lawyer had said that he had filed a lawsuit, and it was dismissed because on the ticket, when you purchase it, it said, and I don't know if it still says this. I would not imagine that it would. Who knows? On the ticket, when you signed and you bought your ticket, it says that they are not responsible. They do not promise, or they're not responsible for providing wholesome food or safe passage or any of this. Basically saying like, if shit goes wrong, if something goes wrong, you can't sue us. No. And so that cruise line, so that boat, I was like, is this thing okay? So they probably like decommissioned this, because from what I understand, I believe the attorney had said they had problems before with this boat and the electrical system. They have had issues before. And I read on the internet where they did have issues with this exact boat before. So what did they do with this boat? Well, you might be like, they retired it. It's gone. Scrap metal, whatever, it's someplace. No, what they did was they're still using it, but they put like, I think it was like $200 million into refurbishing it and getting everything back in working order and good to go. Would I ever get on that thing? No, absolutely not. No, not in 100 years. No, never, no. So listen, between Poop Cruise and Amy Bradley's missing, I'm never going on a cruise. Had I gone on a cruise before? I did. I went with Royal Caribbean, and it was on the same ship that Amy Bradley disappeared from. So listen, I will not be going because number one, obviously it's not safe. Number two, this whole thing of the pandemic, that vid that happened, it's still not gone. It's still out there. I don't want to be locked in to a big giant floating tube with a bunch of other people just for that reason. Yeah, no. And third, I don't feel like these cruise companies care. These cruise companies want the money. That's all they're looking at. They're looking for your money. To me, I don't think that they care about your safety. I just don't. It's come on, get on board, give us your money, get drunk, have fun, and if something happens, oh well, you bought the ticket. I will not be going on another cruise. And my brother and sister-in-law and niece are going to be going on a Disney cruise. Now, Disney is probably different. You can get me on a Disney cruise to save, not for any amount of money, because a lot of children on the boat. No, thank you. No, thanks. That's the thing. That's an unpopular opinion with me. I know all my friends in the group chat are like, love Disney. Unpopular opinion. I'm not that big a fan of Disney. My favorite princess is Cinderella. And I do love Winnie the Pooh and his gang. But other than that, I'm not that big into Disney. Sorry. I went once when I was a child. And it's in Florida. Sorry about it for anybody that lives in Florida, but that's a place that I don't necessarily need to go just because the heat, the hurricanes, the giant bugs, and that governor. So, that's it. Okay. That was my brain dump. I dumped everything out. And, I mean, there's still some stuff in there that we don't discuss politics here. And if we did, that would take like a raging, I would be off. I would be thrown off of here so quickly. So we're just gonna dump that pop culture stuff that was in my brain. And I'm calling it a brain dump because I just saw something on TikTok where they were like, what you should do is Sunday, write everything down that's in your brain, get rid of it so that you can start off the week with a brand new attitude. I might do that in my journal, possibly. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, so in the comments, listen, let me know what you thought, and let's have some water. Okay, so I am going to end it there. I'm gonna go back there. I'm going to do some coloring. I was actually gonna do my video yesterday, 20 questions, while I was coloring in another room, but it's so close to the clock that some people I think really hate that clock, but it's my grandmother's. So that clock will stay there for as long as the house is here. So it's not going anywhere, and I don't want to be so super close to it because it could be distracting. So, okay, listen, in the comments, let me know what you think. And if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world. So it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Let's make sure that we're treating everyone the way we would want to be treated, and kindness is free. Always be aware of your surroundings, be smart and safe. Let's hydrate with some water, wham ham. And if you're in a dangerous situation, know that Dolly and I and Jack right here are keeping you in our thoughts and prayers, sending out thoughts, prayers, and love, and all the positive energy so you can make it through. He came in and I was so sidetracked because he's so sweet. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow with a quick video on a refreshing summer drink. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye guys, bye.